Hello, love, and welcome to a safe space on the internet. This weekend, I decided to leave the city behind and escape to the Danish countryside to reconnect with the earth, breathe in some fresh air, and truly slow down with no distractions. May this be a moment for you to exhale, to soften, and to come back to yourself. Good morning. It's the first morning here in the summer cottage, and we just woke up to the most beautiful spring morning. And I thought that I would take a little walk around the garden just to notice some of the little flowers and plants that are peeking. This is the first time this year that I'm seeing these little white flowers that I absolutely love. I feel like there's nothing more magical than a field of grass covered in these. Today is the first day that I'm bringing my little morning rituals outside. I'm so happy. I think today is going to be a really slow day, just enjoying the fact that there are no distractions, which is one of the things that I love most about being here. I don't feel drawn towards looking at my phone. I just feel drawn towards going outdoors and experiencing my surroundings and just really tuning into my senses. And I brought a bunch of books here as well, and I brought my knitting with me, so I think I'm gonna spend some time doing that as well.
With you right by my side, it's such a sweet life. Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me. Nowhere else to be. Escape this time with me.
We just came back home to the cottage, and I thought that I just wanted to take the opportunity and lay in the grass for a little bit. Right now I am reading Braiding Sweetgrass, and if you haven't read this, I have to say it's my favorite piece of literature that I have ever read. It's like this braid of indigenous wisdom, scientific knowledge, and the teachings of plants. And I just love how she blends these topics together in such a poetic way, and she kind of criticizes our society in the most gentle way possible and comes up with such beautiful perspectives. And I really feel like this book is a perspective shifter, and if everyone read this book, I just feel like the world would be a much better place. But anyways, there's this really beautiful quote in the book that I thought I just wanted to share with you. It's right in the beginning of the book, and this is something that really resonated deeply with me. In the Western tradition, there's a recognized hierarchy of beings with, of course, the human being on top, the pinnacle of evolution, the darling of creation, and the plants at the bottom. But in native ways of knowing, human people are often referred to as the younger brothers of creation. We say that humans have the least experience with how to live and thus the most to learn. We must look to our teachers among the other species for guidance. Their wisdom is apparent in the way that they live. They teach us by example. They've been on the earth far longer than we have been, and have had time to figure things out. She just puts it in such a simple way, and I'm like, oh, this way of viewing the world makes perfect sense. And also in this book in general, I feel like there's so many thoughts and feelings that I kind of have around my relationship with Mother Nature. and that I don't really know how to put into words, but she just puts everything into words in like the most perfect way, if that makes sense. Now my boyfriend is calling me because I think we're gonna have some lunch now. I am so hyped because I just found out that these little flowers that I have been braiding into my hair for my whole life are actually edible and are used for medicinal purposes as well. I didn't know this until now. I'm very much on a journey with learning about herbalism, and obviously this is never ending because there's always more to learn from the plants, but I have made it a goal to search for herbs that are in my local area and to learn about those, just one by one, taking it slow. Got myself a notebook where I want to collect these herbs and press them to save for later, and then make like each page a little overview of each herb so that I will collect more pages in my journal as I learn more about herbs. And I think this is such a cute way of learning. And oh, I think that's an eagle. Der er ørne, tror jeg. Ja, lige derude.
Wow, sejt.
So, a few things to be aware of when collecting herbs, other than the identification process, is to always leave some behind for the birds, the insects, and for the plant to spread its seeds as well, and for others to collect, obviously. So never take more than you can use. And then also make sure to collect them like away from conventional farming and away from really trafficked roads, because we don't want any toxins, we want the good medicinal purposes. I definitely recommend getting a little book to explain things a little bit in depth, just to make sure that you are safe when collecting. Being here really reminds me like how much my surroundings are affecting me. Sometimes we get so caught up in our daily routines and rhythms that we forget to kind of reflect on how our surroundings are serving us, and if they're serving us for the better or worse. And just coming here to this cottage for even a few days has been like so lovely to spend some time with the trees and the ocean and just feel all of the elements around me. But I also just want to say it, like, a change of scenery doesn't have necessarily to be to go to a different country or a different city. If you want to give yourself a change of scenery in your life, this could just be a day trip to a local forest, or it could be going to a new park, or even move some furniture around at home. Just make space for something different in your daily routine in order to be able to fully reflect on how the scenery that you're living in is making you a little bit. I think this sums up this video really well. So what I want you to do now is to challenge yourself to change your scenery in some sort of way in order to be able to truly reflect on how your surroundings are making you feel.